Hey, Dalton.
Hi. Sorry about the time zone confusion earlier. I'm so glad you guys could still make it.
That was all me. I am sorry for worrying you.
No problem.
No worries at all.
Emily was even nice enough to message me this morning with a big PST, and I just blew right by it, but we got it now.
I totally get it. I've been there so many times with the Zoom stuff. But
Thank you for being able to come with us anyways.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to start out by introducing ourselves. My name is Sabby,
I'm Dalton.
and this is for our radio show Speaking with Strangers, which we run at the UCI Student Radio, KUCI. And would you guys like to introduce yourselves for the video?
Sure. My name is Emily. I am a member of the band The Crane Wives. I sing and I play guitar.
I am Dan. I'm also in the band The Crane Wives, and I play drums and sing.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. I guess well, first we wanted to start off by asking about your guys' origin story, which you've talked about in a lot of interviews, but just we're curious for if there's any new angles or
Give the listeners some context. I know it started off as you and Kate, but how did you guys even meet there?
So, Kate and I, well, all four of us, members of the Crane Wives, we all went to Grand Valley State University in Grand Rapids, Michigan, for school, all studying different things. But Kate and I ran in a similar circle because we both played solo music on campus. And after graduation, Kate and I got a job together at a Chinese restaurant. And it was just, it was bad. It was rough. It was by the mall. Um, it, um, but they let us play music on Friday nights, and that allowed us to work up a bit of a catalog of cover songs and a couple originals that we could play together. And at the time, Kate was in class with Tom, who played the band, or he played guitar actually.
Okay.
We asked him to play the banjo because three guitars seemed excessive. But Tom and Dan were living together at the time, and Kate was in a three-piece blues band with the three of them
Wow,
together.
so cool.
Yeah. So eventually we just decided to join forces and become the Crane Wives.
wow. That's so amazing to hear. Just as college students just picking up and making music, I feel like so often people are like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll go to that open mic in a few semesters." So, it's amazing that everything just worked together.
I wanted to ask, have any of those like early original songs survived and made it all the way to a Crane Wives album?
Yeah, actually, like Counting Sheep, a lot of the songs that were on Safe Ship came from that
Mm,
time.
I see.
okay.
I think there are a couple of hidden gems, but you can find those on our Patreon.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of, I love the, just remembering the kind of weird, like meeting us, like we were meeting in trio form and in duos and in like, and it's exactly what you say, like on campus when you're like, I'm going to go meet up with this person or whatever. And I was in an audio club with Ben Zito, who became the bass player. But first, we brought him in to help us record. So I was
Oh, wow.
interning at a recording studio. And
Hmm.
then he was like, I'm a pretty good bass player, and obviously you guys need bass. Um, but it just makes me think of those days because, like, I remember a day where Emily and I were sitting on campus by this little pond that's in at Grand Valley's campus,
Hmm.
and we wrote what would become the diving bell. But
Mm.
then we were both kind of like, "This, what if Kate sings it?" Like, there was lots of that kind of fun tossing things around. But yeah, that whole early era, we were all we're so jazzed, like just so excited to be doing it. Um, and the like just the absolute passion and work we put into the album, like we never expected it to pay off as much as it did. We just cared so much
Yeah.
about making the music in our little combos.
Yeah.
It seems so fun. I mean, I feel like any conversation with someone in college eventually could steer to like, let's start a band, but you guys actually did it. Very
I highly recommend it. definitely start a band.
Yeah. I guess what was the point of no return then, where you decided this is what we're gonna keep doing? This is the four of us. We're gonna make music as a career.
Ooh. Uh, when was your moment, Dan? I feel like everybody had like a different time of jumping all in.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because I don't think I think it was just like every step was the all in moment. Like we were so like, there was no chance of it failing.
Just
Um,
so excited.
but also like no real vision of what success actually looked like. Like it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
we could make songs, you know.
I feel like our goal had always been to like just do it for the joy of it. Obviously it's nice to make a living, but at the time we were just, I mean, we were making so little money playing music that it really was just for love of the game,
Yeah.
you know? And it stayed fun, for 15 years. So
Wow.
if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's so nice. I think a lot of people try to just like as quickly as they can make a lot of money off of it, but just being there for the love, that's really sweet. Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
do
think
think it's
our
go ahead.
goal, I was going to just say, our goal was just to like be sustainable. Like
Mm.
we just wanted to make enough money to feel like our needs were met. And a lot of times I feel like that was the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
But I think because the goal was never to have, I don't know, like the big dream of the viral fame. We
Yeah.
just wanted to make music. That's what helped carry us because it was achievable. Like people do make money playing music and are able to support themselves. It
Yeah.
feels like an achievable dream, whereas like trying to make a Grammy happen feels a little bit too big of a step.
It definitely seems like a more folksy way to go about it. Just integrating music into your life. But you mentioned how you weren't necessarily looking to get viral, but then you actually did go viral over 2020, 2021. What was that like for you guys?
Well, it's interesting. Like I was almost exactly what I was going to say about the like version of success or whatever, but I was reflecting on how there wasn't like much of that at all when we were getting together back in 2010, 2011,
Mm.
because it just wasn't that era yet. We were like right on the cusp of the era of like that kind of thing being possible. And there was big booms. Like at the time, there was this big indie boom of folk bands like Mumford and Sons and Fleet Foxes and that kind of thing that was really inspiring to us, but it didn't look the same. And I think nowadays when people get some kind of like quick success, they're like, oh, let me just do that thing again and again. And maybe if you can keep the people coming back for the same thing, yada, yada. But ours was more like, I don't know, just go to the open mic and wow, a couple more people liked it this time. And maybe we could play this bigger venue. And obviously we had social media and stuff, but just wasn't the same. So we had, for a long, long time, that's just a little context, but for a long, long time, we had just like grinded it, and like since between 2011 and 2019, it was just like playing as much as we could. A lot of times it was on the weekends, doing circles around Michigan, doing circles around the Midwest. And then in the summers, we'd go on like a big tour
Okay.
and come back, and we'd take like a month to do a tour and take a break. And so anyway, there's just a lot of grinding and playing for 50 people at a time or whatever. And then the pandemic hit and everything shut down. And I went back to school to be a teacher.
Oh wow.
It just really, the future looked a lot different. And then suddenly out of nowhere, it was like, we better get a team together because we could really do this now.
That is so
So
cool.
that's a little context. Maybe Emily, you can speak more to what it actually felt like when it happened. But
I mean, it still feels a little surreal. Like it feels a little bit like funny money in the sense that like it's numbers on a screen. It feels amazing to be seen. It's also like a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Um, but it doesn't feel real until you like show up to a Crane Wives concert. Like, and then it starts to feel really like incredible. It's amazing to see that it's become its own little community, like the Cranewise fan base.
I think you wanted to touch on that actually.
Yeah, I was actually interested in how your fan base has kind of merged into fandom more of like kind of a cult following. It integrates with a lot of other, I guess, fandoms that have a lot of queer intersections. It's just really interesting to see how folk music is giving more space for younger people to have online identities and integrate music and art and TV shows, all the edits and all the much art online that is just shockingly good. So what were you guys like thinking of that when you were putting out music around the 2024?
Gosh, no.
Sorry, 2020.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think we really knew who that audience was yet. Again, like we saw the numbers spike on YouTube and Spotify, which was incredible. But we just didn't know who the audience was yet. So once we started going on the road, we started to interact with those fans, and for me, it felt like coming home. Like we found our people. I When I was, young in college, even at the beginning of the Crane Wives, I was like that kid. I loved D&D. I, read fan fiction, and I was a huge fucking nerd, and I like was deep into the fandom stuff. And so it's really exciting to see like the art that we make be used for that purpose as well. So I don't think it was really an intention, but I mean, it's coming from a fandom child. So I feel like maybe a little bit inevitable.
Yeah, I feel like it's a nice place to be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just say that at Grand Valley's campus, that's like initially how I met Emily. Is like there was this area in the Commons where like these dudes that I knew who were like deep comic nerds would be like playing pool and stuff, and Emily was always right there in there playing pool with these guys and debating with them about X-Men and
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Nice.
and
Do we have like? Oh, go ahead. I was gonna ask what if you had like a favorite fandom or comic series or something like that on that side.
More recently, I've gotten really into Saga. Love Saga. But I have been a longtime fan of the X-Men, and Batman in the DC universe was my bread and butter for a really long time.
Wow. Dan, what would be yours?
Well, I have a lot of nerddom, deep nerddom, but right now I'm going to go with Lord of the Rings because I've been just doing the extended editions in like half-hour doses, almost like an episode
Wow.
of a show. And I just got to this was like last week. I got to the end of Return of the King, and I just remember when I was young being like, God, it's so cheesy. There's so many slow motion endings and blah blah blah. But now that I'm an adult, I got to the end of the Return of the King, like having been through hard stuff in your life, and then you get to the end of Return of the King. I was just like weeping like a little baby.
Wow. That's sweet.
But that's I have we all have a lot of nerddoms. I think that's what that idea of like sci-fi, fantasy, just storytelling in general has inspired all four of us in different ways.
Yeah.
I like that. And I think that definitely ties in with like the grassroots feel of folk and kind of growing up with that. And because folk is very counterculture. And I guess I wanted to also ask how you guys have, it says on your Spotify that you are in your rock and roll era. So I wanted to see if you agree with that and how you feel like you've transitioned from being more folky to getting to this point.
I think it's absolutely true, and I love it. I feel very comfortable here. A big part, I think, of the shift in tone happened when we lost our banjo player, and so we started to continue with a four-piece. And Kate picked up an electric guitar, and I think from that moment on, we were kind of on this road that eventually led to being a rock band.
Yeah.
And which is where I always wanted to go anyway. So it worked out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you watch some of our older videos of when we're still playing acoustic instruments. You can just see like they're already a rock band. They just don't, like we had that kind of like punk energy of how we moved around on stage that we still do. And
Well, also it's like the music isn't like the technic folk is usually either like really sensitive or really technical, sometimes
Yeah.
both. But we would play all of these like folk festivals with these crazy talented bluegrass bands, and then there'd be
Mm.
us. It's just stomping around and yelling. And it just, yeah, I just don't, I, folk, I think, informs a lot of the ways that we tell the stories. But I think that we were always destined to be a rock band.
Like
We
Dylan
needed to be
going electric.
louder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, moving from, I guess, like the mental image people might have of like barstooly folk of just sitting and, really noodling on there, and instead, connecting with the people who are coming to watch. That's the folk culture there. And we had a lot of questions about folk culture. One of them that I was interested in asking you, Emily, was about queer culture in the land and how your music might serve to teach people or bring younger queer people back to the land with more like nature themed roots.
Hmm. I I feel like being a marginalized person, being, just somebody who doesn't have the same privileges as other people in this country, it helps to be rooted in things that nurture like the earth and like, I don't know, causes that make people's lives better. A lot of queer people that I know are very active in their communities, especially in volunteer spaces and in activist spaces, trying to do what they can to make the world better. Um, I feel that very strongly in the way that the Crane Wives operate. We really want to leave the world better than we found it. We try to be as ethical as we possibly fucking can, in the way that we operate our business. And we really try to take care of the people that work for us and who are part of our team. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our audiences when we go to shows. Um, and part of that, I think, has been like curating safe spaces for like queer audiences specifically,
Mm.
but also like a BIPOC audience as well. It's been really healing to be able to go to spaces outside of the Midwest with a lot more people of color. Um, Having grown up in like white suburbia, uh, it is just, it's very amazing to see other BIPOC people in the audience and other queer people, out queer people in the audience. Um, yeah, I am so grateful that we've been able to cultivate that space.
Yeah, I see what you mean. White suburbia is mind melting. Just from one to another.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's a trip.
Yeah, I feel like all of my like queer or like people of color friends getting out of it are now like spectacularly out and proud, and I think it's very fun to see. So I know a lot of them also really like the Crane Wives. So
Oh,
it's nice to see that pathway of, I guess, sprouting
it's an
afterward.
honor. Like I have what I call my queer elders, and we chat a lot about like how amazing it is to be able to grow old in this community now and to be able to be out as an adult, and see what like really fills the cup though is seeing all the young people and how comfortable they are and how proud they are to be who they are. um, I am envious of how much time they're going to get to know themselves as they truly are, instead of like spending that time kind of shoving it away. So it's been like a real gift to be able to like look out into the audience and see other queer people. Yeah, feel like I said, we found our people, and it feels incredible.
Lovely. Are there any moments looking out into the audience that both of you can remember meant a lot to you?
yeah, I feel like every night, honestly. like there's always there's always such a wonderful feeling when you can just look out and see someone just yelling the lyrics and knowing how much it means to them and knowing they're moving through something. I'll share one it's one of my favorite fan stories. There was a beautiful queer couple at the front row and we played Steady Steady. I can't remember what venue it was. We were playing Steady Steady and it was like the one partner was the Crane Wives fan, and the other partner was like, okay, if I'm gonna be with him, I have to understand this. This is important for the partnership. And there was just this moment where the Crane Wives fan partner turned to the new to Crane Wives partner and sang a bunch of lyrics of Steady Steady right into his face. And the partner's reaction was just like, you are so like I watched the whole thing and obviously I don't know these two people, but I watched the face of the other partner and it just looked like he was like, oh my God, you are so cool. And I can't believe I'm getting sung to in this way. And it was just like for me, I was like, all right, that was a moment where one of them got to say to the other, like, because it was the lines like I won't say I do until you promise me, though we gray, we can stay young and wild and free. And the other partner was just like, what?
Mind blown.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
We have this phrase that we like to like pass around when we're on the road, and that's every day is a miracle.
Oh.
Like, because we really did come from playing, most of the year to empty bars, and to be in a room full of people who want you there and are excited to see you and know the words of your songs. Like that's outrageous. And yeah, it just never gets old. It's always like kind of I don't know. I feel like I'm always a little bit on the verge of tears every time, like a little bit. They've gotten me a couple of times.
Dan, I did want to ask you about connecting with the audience. Was the wolf howl your idea? How did that come about?
I think so. I think it was. Yeah.
That feels like a Dan Rickabus idea for sure.
I thought it was so fun. So
yeah, one of the things we did in this whole new era was I just got a tool that I've wanted to get for a long time. It's called a SPDX. It's just a little sample pad. A lot of people actually use it for a lot more complicated features. Like they'll run a click track to the rest of the band, or they will do all these different things. And we don't actually do any of that. I think it's really interesting. Like in today's day and age, we're just four people with instruments. And I think so many other acts, which is wonderful. Like you should use any tool that you have to make your show amazing. But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent now, but I just wanted to bring in this sample pad to be able to do some like transition sounds. So we just made a couple little things and I was like, what if we have this mysterious, murky intro sound to The Moon Will Sing? And we actually took the trumpet from the album and like put it in the sample in case anybody like hears the trumpet and then they go like, wait, is this what I think it is? And yeah, so that was just fun. And I actually can't remember how we intentionally decided, if we ever intentionally decided we were going to howl or if I just did.
Someone just
maybe in a moment of passion, that was just what happened, but it worked.
Yeah,
overtake.
it worked. Now, sometimes if I don't do it, like I don't feel like the mood is right, Zito will look at me like, you gonna howl, bro? You gonna,
It's a part of the song now.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I wanted to see if there are any how do you connect with nature outside of these themes in your music, or do you guys like camping, hiking, or how do we explore that outside of like the Crane Wives itself?
And all those things. I like all those things that you just said. My partner and I are big kayakers. We spend a lot of time on local Michigan rivers. Michigan has some great rivers. If you've never been, like, it's pretty beautiful out here. So we're pretty lucky in that we can, like we live in a city, but we can drive, less than an hour and be at Lake Michigan. And that's kind of amazing.
That I can never comprehend that in LA. People go to I mean, I know we're spoiled with the beach, but I like get really excited when there's a stream, and kayaking's so fun. That sounds really awesome. What about you, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, Lake Michigan. You should really come out here and see Lake Michigan. My sister-in-law actually grew up in LA, and I remember when she came here for the first time and saw Lake Michigan and was like, "What? It's an ocean, but it's and that's the closest thing I have to church is Lake Michigan, and yeah, it. I grew up. My dad is a deer hunter, and I could never bring myself to actually shoot a deer. But I loved that feeling of like sitting in a tree stand and watching the woods wake up and just
Wow.
like paying attention and seeing everything. And that really, I think that really, as a kid, like shaped me. And just being quiet and doing nothing but just being in the woods and watching it come alive, in the early morning and stuff. Um, yeah, that's a specific one for me.
Wow.
That's very serene. Huh.
Yeah.
Also, uh, woods are also very foreign to me, but if I encounter any,
Wow.
I'll make sure to do that. That sounds really cool. Yeah,
Unfortunately, there is a lot of suburbia around Irvine
yeah.
and not
That's
enough water
right.
in LA, but we try our best. There are some open spaces here. So for the radio show, if you guys are listening and you are in Irvine right now, please go check out the local nature areas. I assure you it's worth
Yeah, when we're
it.
like interpolate a PSA saying go outside.
Yeah.
Touch
Yeah.
some grass, see a
Yeah.
tree.
Please, guys, I promise it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think
You'll
they have
feel
like a
something.
golf course somewhere under some freeway
That's
to
kind of
connect.
been like the new part of touring for us as well. Like we've been a lot more intentional since coming back to touring to make sure that we get time outside. Like
Yeah.
what is it, like enrichment time
Yeah,
outside?
enrichment.
What do you do on
um,
those when you're trying to get enrichment time?
we have a box that lives in the back of the van called the fun box. Then fun is in quotations. I think it's got like a frisbee, a deck of cards,
Hmm.
a baseball. Is that correct? And some gloves.
Yeah. There was a time when we travel in two vans. There was a time when one of the vans broke down and needed a repair. And we were at this gas station and we just spent like 2 hours in the grass area of this, like, I don't know what it was, sheets or something, like, like creating our own sports. So like some of us are kicking a soccer ball and some people are playing catch. And
Wow,
that was Zito's idea to bring the fun box.
it's very
It's
fun.
like paid off. It has paid off a lot.
That is so awesome.
Maybe that actually, I feel like that's not more people should be bringing that into the trunk of their car, like first aid, jump start,
Fun box.
baseball, fun balls.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Car breaks down, phone is dead, can't call for help, want to play cards.
Kill some time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This job is a lot of hurry up and wait. So it's nice to have something to do during the wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess I don't want to get too far away from. I know you guys wanted to talk about your upcoming tour. So
Yeah.
I talk away. I'm excited.
Well, we're going on the road 3 times in this upcoming tour season. We're going to leave in April, and then we have another tour in June, and we are going to announce one in August. One for August, sorry. But we're still securing those dates. You can find all those dates on our website or on our social media. And we are traveling out west. We're traveling to you
Yay!
guys, which is
Yay!
crazy. It's so far.
Yeah.
And things are even
There
farther
used to be
here,
a time
too.
where a drive, oh my gosh, there used to be a time where a drive like that was like nothing. We could do it like maybe a day and a half. And
Oh
now
my.
it's like, no, 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 no. Those days are long gone. We're all like creeping up on 40 now, and we're just like, yeah, hard pass. I can't sleep in the car anymore.
Yeah. No more all-nighters.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in college and we can barely do that anymore.
Yeah. I don't know why
Treasure
anyone's
it.
doing it.
It leaves you so fast once you graduate. So treasure it now.
We'll try. But
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cool year. We're doing it a little differently, where we're going to go south and then like west in the south,
Hmm.
And then the first tour kind of ends near y'all, and then we're gonna take a month off and then kind of pick back up similarly and be out, kind of Pacific Northwest, Colorado uh, zone. And we're just doing it a little differently this time. But it's also a little bit different because last year was really focused on just being album release celebration,
Yeah.
and we're definitely going to keep playing the new stuff. We're really excited about all the new stuff, and that's going to be at the forefront. But we have this really cool framing this year of just calling it like Act One, Act Two, Act Three, and just like the poster artist helped us create this really neat vibe of like telling a story. And I'm just excited to see where these shows go because they'll be a little bit more wide ranging and um, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Sounds very
Mysterious.
exciting. Like some traveling bards going around sharing their story.
We've upped our
Nice.
production.
Wow.
So yeah, I for so long it was just like the four of us on a gigantic stage, just like clustered together because when we're too far apart, the vibe is off. But then like the stage just feels so big. So this year we've invested in the live show
Mm.
and we've got some really cool production kind of set dressing kind of stuff that we're excited to show off.
That's
Sounds
going to
very
be so
exciting.
fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I also wanted to ask, on the topic of performing itself, um, at your last show, I was just in awe of how well you guys like interleaved your voices, with you and Kate sharing some of the leads back and forth, and then with the new song Red Clay, Dan, you having, I guess, was that your first lead for the whole song? That was a great song, and I'm just curious how you guys kind of, I guess, delegate those or divvy them out or integrate all of your voices. It was really great.
Thank you. Dan writes all the set lists and he is very, I feel bad because we give him such a puzzle. There's like certain rules that like some songs can't be next to each other because they're in the same key or,
Mm.
like two really difficult, strainy songs right back to back. Like Dan has a lot to work with. But one of the things that he works really hard on doing is making sure that like we're both like all of us are featured.
Mm.
I think it's been kind of the goal of the Crane Wives to never have like a lead singer and to always kind of be sharing the spotlight amongst the four of us. And we try to have that carry over into our live shows as well.
Wow.
Yeah, just by nature of the project, it's really awesome because the kind of go-to is like, well, if either Kate or Emily wrote the song, they're singing the lead, and then the other's harmonizing. And similarly, like whoever wrote the song is usually playing like more of a rhythmic guitar part, and that means so the other person's doing like vocal harmonies and lead guitars. And that's like a great. Obviously, Ben and I are in the same. We're just bass and drums the whole time, but it's really fun because that's kind of the format, but then we mess with it as well. There are tons of songs, especially in the earlier days, where it would be like, "Why don't you lead this verse?" or what have you. And then with Beyond Beyond Beyond, there was a lot of stuff that might not even show up necessarily in the performance side, but in the writing side, that was like really new for us. Like one person writes this part and it has a chord progression, the other person writes this part and tosses it on, and then like Ben wrote a little guitar part instead of a bass part, and Kate plays that in Scars, and just some like dancing around of stuff. And then it's been super fun. Like I would say only we have like 60 some songs, and I think only like 7 or 8 of them are something that I wrote like as the main songwriter, but I would always write for Emily's voice or Kate's voice. So those demos are me.
I love
like,
those demos.
they're like super high falsetto because I'm trying to imagine like their voices
That's awesome.
singing it. But then for that song Red Clay, Kate actually wrote that song
Wow.
for me to sing in doing this kind of flip. of the role that I always used to play, which was fun for me because when she sent me the demo and it was like really low, it was like Kate singing really low. And I remember feeling like, wow, this is a low melody for you. Interesting choice. And then like 20 minutes later, she texted me like, I was thinking you could sing this. I was like, wait, what? As in like, what?
That's so sweet.
It was really fun to work with that song and figure out how to get it to fit in with the rest of the album, because the rest of the album has this like very spacey theme. And I think one of the things that really pulled it together was like creating this soundscape at the beginning that brings it in. It feels like a spaceship kind of taking you to this different world. And there's a lot of stuff in there too. I could geek out forever, but there's a lot of like sounds on the album that you would not expect to be a bass. Like Ben has all these guitar pedals that he's using and creating all these different sounds. And then there's like, you know, stuff we did where suddenly Emily was singing into a vocal mic that went into some guitar pedals. And
oh, wow.
So yeah, just like illustrating some of the stuff we've tried to do to really shake it up. And yeah, who knows what we might think of in the future to shake it up.
Exciting. Hey, we're really excited to hopefully catch you guys on your next tour and see all the new stuff that you're experimenting with.
Thank you. Is there a show that you guys wanted to come to? We would put you on the list.
Oh, we would love that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, either the San Diego or the LA show, honestly. It's
all right. Yeah. Why don't you email us with like whatever one works best for you, the date, the location, and we'll just make sure you get on the list.
Oh, thank you so much.
Kind.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. We're coming up on our last 3 minutes, so I think we had a few more lighter questions just to ask. We usually like to ask people if they have any movie, book, TV show recs or stuff that they're reading right now, watching, anything like that.
Go for it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, I watch a lot of trash. I watch only trash.
We watch a lot of Family Guy, so
I just saw that movie No Other Choice, which is that Korean drama. That was really good. Kind of Parasite-esque.
I love the director. Yeah. Did you like it?
I loved it. So good. So
Park
good.
Chan-wook. Yeah. He is just deranged. I love him.
Yes. So I would recommend that.
Have you seen The Handmaid's Tale?
Yes.
He's
yeah.
So interesting. Probably my favorite director. Sorry, I'm like fangirling.
I get it. I understand.
What about you, Dan? For our last minute or so.
I'm a little late to the party, but I just saw that movie Begonia. That was awesome. Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, and Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons.
It's like such a small cast, and it was such a mind-blowing movie with such amazing performances. And then the other one, I'm really, really late to the party, but I just watched the first episode of The Last of Us, and that was like,
damn!
I have
you
completely
really are the last
missed
of us.
this. I am the last of The Last of Us. I completely missed that, and now I'm like, oh, what? So
wow.
You have such a journey ahead of you. I stay off the internet. Just stay off of it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Have you been spoiled or no?
I've got no spoilers. I've been off of.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I got to make sure that my Reddit stuff just stays away from The Last of Us.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone Super Bowl ad? I think that's pretty good. Similar vibe.
No.
It's cute.
I only saw Bad Bunny.
He did great. He did so good. Okay. Zoom is about to kick us off. So thank you so much. We have had so much fun talking to you guys. We wish that we could talk longer, but thank you so much for being able to talk with us and come on our show. And we're so excited to have our listeners listen to your music.
Thank you so much.
Great meeting you guys.
Us.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome, y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.